aliens.
So you're saying it like my grandma would say it. Aliens have never been like the thing that makes me like, I don't know, it's just not that interesting. Like, it is, but I think it's just like, you don't really fucking know.
Like, here's what's weird to me.
I'm not saying that you don't know that they don't exist. I'm just saying, like, everything that you're saying, like, you don't fucking know.
Even if aliens aren't real, like, they're interesting. There are lots of shit out there that's not real that people seem to be uniquely obsessed with that aren't that interesting. Like Kim Kardashian's ass.
I thought you were going to say, like, cryptids or something.
No,
there you go.
I mean, reality TV shows are completely fake. They're not real.
Yeah.
A lot of them are totally scripted. And if they're not totally scripted, the producer is standing in the back of these real life situations going, you know that we found out 2 weeks ago that she messaged her ex-boyfriend, right? Oh, really? Like, if we had someone over in the corner of the room, like, manipulating our conversations and shit, it'd be completely different.
Yeah.
And so, like, UFOs are one of those things where there's, like, evidence that's come out, and the government has all but said that there's shit going on that we have no clue about, or at least if we do have a clue about it, they say that it exists, and they're like, well, we don't know, though, even though it very well could just be them.
They fucking know.
But it's just weird to me that there has been all of these things that if they were talking about anything else, like if the government came out and was like, you know, there's some kind of weird electromagnetic force going on in milk. We don't know what it is, but it's there. People would be like, oh my God.
I'm never drinking milk again.
Like
I don't know what that means.
The whole submarine situation was uniquely weird and tragic and crazy.
And that's all you heard
about.
And
that's all I heard about for a week. The week before that, one of the biggest people in the government's UAP task force came out and said that there is a secret program for the government going to retrieve crashes of UFOs, and they won't give me access to it. So I'm filing a complaint. It's called a whistleblower complaint, and it's like when people reveal stuff that's going on in the government that's secret, it's protection for them to not get in trouble over it.
Yes.
So he filed a whistleblower complaint, and nobody cares.
Well, I think that a lot of people care and are very interested. I don't know how that's going, like the process of like what happens or what can be done.
But like, it's weird to me that, like, you know, people can go missing in country. Like, do you know how many people there are missing that went on vacations to Mexico and never came back? And people were like, oh my God, about this submarine thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just weird what people decide to care about.
I think for me, it's like, it's not that I don't care about it. It is, you say this shit all the time. It is one of those things, is totally out of my control. If a fucking alien wanted to zap down in my fucking front yard, and it could, and there's not a goddamn thing, and what am I gonna do? Shoot it? Okay.
Right, but there's a big...
No, I don't like to think about it, because it's so grand, it's so mysterious and fucking terrifying that I don't even want to think about it.
There's a big difference between, well, what if this alien did this and it just came down?
It absolutely could, though.
Like, no, but like, we're talking about evidence of things that actually happened. That this indisputable, this happened.
Right.
We just don't know what it is.
But that makes that a reality. Not only did they just find parts or they're trying to recover parts of these UAP, UFO, whatever you want to call them, but I'm pretty sure there were things inside of them too.
Well, the guy claimed that he was told by these people involved in this program,
and they're like,
that this stuff existed.
And it's not just like a one thing.
It's already been a known thing that this stuff has happened.
There's like different species of the... Yeah. No.
I mean, who knows? Who knows what it is? But I just think it's very interesting that all this phenomenal shit takes place, And yet, it's hard for me to accept because I don't want it to be this way. But the Fortnite, TikTok dancing, thirst trapping people of the internet are the majority.
I don't know if I agree with that.
They're the majority of the people are only interested in that kind of stuff or doing that kind of stuff.
You know what I think?
What?
I think that I, personally, and maybe a lot of other people, just want to pretend like it's not fucking real.
I don't know.
Okay. Let's say, what if you had like 3 fucking kids or something, and you really want to sit down and think about how there are aliens, and the government for sure knows about it and everything, and then okay.
Well, let's
just start working with them.
That's because I think that we'll put it into the terms of the Matrix, right?
Oh,
if the Matrix was real and everybody found out today what we're living in right now is the Matrix. Sure. The real world, unfortunately, is far more fucked up than this. Uh-huh. And this illusion is what you're living in.
Terrifying because
the reality of the situation is you're, in a program right now, and the real world is like the real world, but it's fucking horrible.
Okay.
Right? A large majority of people would stay in the Matrix.
Are you trying to red pill everybody right now?
No. This was like, please keep the get that shit out of this conversation. Please, God. I would rather take an enema than any of those pills.
You're right, Chad. Lord Chad, I'm sorry I had to. Okay, I'm listening. Oh. You brought up the Matrix. I had to.
No, I'm trying to talk about this and you just made it dumb as fuck.
Because I'm telling you, I cannot deal with the thought.
I'm just saying, like, that's what I'm saying.
I know.
A large majority of people would refuse the information. Like that movie, remember the Leonardo DiCaprio movie where the comet was coming to Earth and everybody was like, yeah, but it's
not that bad.
It's not that bad. I think.
Don't look up.
I think the alien thing
is that. No, I 100% believe it. I think all of the information is accurate, if not worse. And there is not a goddamn thing I can do about it. So I would rather just put it out of my mind.
And with that being said, we're going to watch the top 3 signs of alien life by Mr. Ballen.
Means that I cannot
Hopefully
do that.
You guys are ready for this. Are you ready? Are you ready, Nikki?
No, I'm not. I don't want it to be true.
Aliens.
I don't like it. And you know what? What if they were like so cute and like so nice, and they were like, "Man, you guys are so stupid, and we just put you here for our entertainment. Let me show you how to actually make this shit work." Or it's like the Mars Attacks movie.
Those things, yeah.
Like the little chihuahua with the fucking...
Yeah. I'm down for that. I'm down... I don't know. Chihuahua aliens would be scary as a bitch. I'm not gonna lie.
Alright.
Are you ready?
No.
Here we go.
The Pentagon just quietly confirmed the 2 leaked videos from 2017 that showed these strange objects whipping around our atmosphere are totally authentic, and to this day, they have no idea what they are. Before I get into today's list, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right channel because that's all we do, and we upload 3, 4, even 5 times every week. So if that's of interest to you, please order 8 large pizzas to the like button's house and tell the store you'll pay cash at the front door. Also, please subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. Alright, let's get into today's stories.
That's all Nikki thinks, just fantasies to help her cope. Yes.
Sure.
Late one night in the summer of 1977, a large radio telescope in Ohio intercepted a very unique signal. The telescope was searching the sky on behalf of an organization called SETI, which is the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, and the signal, although it only lasted 72 seconds, fit the profile of a message beamed to us from another world. Jerry Amon, who was a project scientist for SETI, was flipping through some of the computer printouts generated by the telescope when he noticed a series of letters. Now, the way this particular radio telescope worked is it pretty much constantly picked up a signal, but that signal was a very low background hum of static. And that was represented in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All those low numbers are representative of that basic background sound that they just write off. It doesn't matter. Occasionally, the telescope would pick up a higher number on the readout, like a 7, an 8, a 9, and even above that, it transitions to letters to represent louder radio signals. But all of those higher signals had a rational explanation. Either they were anomalous or they were tied to something very natural and ordinary. But that particular night in 1977, as the telescope swept across the sky, it picked up a signal that was so strong it surged past 0 through 9 and made its way into the letters all the way up to letter U, and it held it for 72 seconds, representing a signal that was 30 times stronger than what this telescope normally picks up as its baseline. And after those 72 seconds, the telescope eventually passed it, and that signal dropped all the way back down. So when Amon saw this amazing string of letters representing this radio signal, he circled it in red ink and wrote next to it, "Wow!" exclamation point, and from that point forward, this transmission became the WOW signal. One of the main reasons the WOW signal was not immediately cast out as some anomaly or chalked up to some other natural occurrence is because of what we understand about radio wave transmission. The goal of this radio telescope was to try to pick up radio signals coming in from other worlds. And so the way they did that is they opened up a whole bunch of different channels, receivers, they had 50 of them, and anytime they were aiming their dish in a direction of the sky, if there was any radio waves coming towards them, they tried to capture them on different radio frequencies. If you were aiming your antenna in a direction where natural radio waves were coming towards you, it would hit one channel and then diffuse over adjacent channels because it's not a targeted radio wave. It's natural. It's more like a shotgun blast. Non-natural radio waves, like the ones we're familiar with when we listen to the radio, listen to music, those are targeted radio waves, meaning when they were sent out in a very narrow band. They were sent out on a single frequency. And only people that have turned to that particular frequency or that particular receiver are going to hear your message. That is a non-natural radio wave. The night that the WOW signal was picked up, it was only picked up on one channel. It did not diffuse over the others, meaning the WOW signal is not natural and was created by someone or something. And for the SETI researchers that are literally combing the sky for signs of extraterrestrial life, this is exactly what they were looking for. It is what an intelligent life form would do to try to communicate. They would use one radio frequency to demonstrate this is intentional. But despite decades of professional and amateur astronomers searching the sky for this WOW signal, it's never been found again. While there's many theories about what could have caused the WOW signal, obviously ranging from extraterrestrial life to a comet that passed by in 1977 that we only recently knew about, to a secret spy satellite, the bottom line is, to this day, we cannot adequately explain it. It remains the best evidence of alien communication ever obtained.
Wild.
There is a taboo that is held in the scientific and academic communities, as well as in government, news media, and all modern institutions. And that taboo is on taking UFOs seriously. As a result of this societal conditioning, many people simply don't believe in UFOs. And those same people will view others that do believe in UFOs or who are open-minded to it as the crazy people, when in reality, UFOs are blatantly real. I mean, blatantly so. And they've been whipping around Earth for some time. But because of that taboo, scientists and politicians, they don't want to do the research to figure out why they're here because it's career suicide. And what's worse is there's all sorts of programs, like I'm going to tell you about in a minute, that are designed to keep people conditioned to believe that everything is ponies and rainbows, and there's no aliens, there's no UFOs, there's no anything but Earth. In 1952, a CIA group called the Psychological Strategy Board concluded that the people in the United States are prone to mass hysteria when it comes to UFOs, and that we should be actively debunking any organization or person or group that is trying to get to the bottom of UFOs or other unexplained phenomenon. It seems like the reasoning behind this was to protect the public from themselves. They did not want the public to discover something as momentous as the discovery of a UFO that is connected to extraterrestrials or some other unexplained phenomenon. They didn't want the public to discover that. They wanted the government to make that discovery so it could be controlled, the narrative could be controlled, and they could protect the public from falling into mass hysteria. Now, while we don't know if the government actually listened to this recommendation and began aggressively censoring any group or organization that was trying to get answers about UFOs, what we do know is that the government at the same time was investing real money to do their own research about UFOs. In December of 2017, the Pentagon had to come out and confirm the existence of a particular program called the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program after 2 of their videos had been leaked. This highly classified, highly controversial government-funded program investigated UFOs. The 2 leaked videos were filmed by American service members, pilots, when they saw these objects that were flying around Earth that were demonstrating what this program described as advanced physics, which is basically things humans haven't figured out how to do yet. The objects were able to accelerate with g-forces that were too much for the human body to withstand. They could reach hypersonic speeds with no sonic boom and no heat trail. They also seemed to resist Earth's gravitational pull, despite not looking particularly aerodynamic enough to have lift or thrust. Metamaterials that came from these UFOs were made up of materials that you can't find naturally on Earth and would be extremely expensive to replicate. According to a Pentagon briefing this group gave in 2009 about all of their research into UFOs, they concluded that the United States would not be able to protect itself against some of the technology they had discovered.
Oh, shit.
And these 2 videos that we're seeing are only the ones that were leaked. And in April of 2020, the Pentagon came out and officially confirmed those 2 leaked videos from 2017 were authentic, and to this day, the crafts or objects that were spotted in those videos are still listed as unidentified. They wouldn't say that unless they made sure it was not just another military craft or some other conventional explanation, meaning, really, we don't know what these things are. Here are the 2 video clips.
Echo 6-1 Tango, Roger, over. Roger, there's troubleshooting as soon as I get...
Did you box moving target? No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow, look at it fly.
That's going fast as fuck, dude.
Dude, this is going on, bro.
I've seen this one.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
Like, what do you do after that? Well, you just go home and have spaghetti with your wife.
That's not LNS though, is it? It's not.
Do your little chores and pretend like your life matters. I don't know. I don't like it.
Crazy.
I don't like it.
Just 30 years ago, we had not discovered a single planet outside of our solar system. Today, we've discovered over 4,500 of them, and of all those planets we're discovering, 1 in 5 of them, scientists now say, are most likely habitable. There's really 2 criteria for a planet to be considered habitable. 1, it needs to be rocky, and 2, it needs to fall into the Goldilocks zone, where it's in its star's orbit in a place where it's neither too hot or too cold, allowing water to be in liquid form. One of the best chances we have so far at finding life on another one of these habitable planets is a planet called Ross 128b. It orbits an inactive red dwarf star, meaning it's likely not being bludgeoned by solar radiation, and we've detected strange signals emanating from the nearby host star, signals that perhaps have intelligent origins. Another habitable planet is Proxima b. It also happens to be the closest habitable planet to Earth and is a lot like Ross 128b. However, the red dwarf it revolves around is much more temperamental and periodically casts out massive amounts of radiation that does make life quite difficult. It's also tidally locked and in synchronous rotation with its star, meaning one side of the planet is always facing the star and getting completely torched all the time. The other side, the dark side of the planet, never faces the star, and so everything is frozen. And so the only place liquid water could exist on Proxima b would be at the equator. Another area of the universe that scientists are focused on to try to see if there's life there right now, or could be life, is an area called the TRAPPIST-1 system. It's actually 7 different planets, all of which are considered habitable, that are orbiting around this one particular red dwarf. The really cool thing about this particular system is that the 7 planets are super close together. So close that if you were standing on one, you could look up and see all of the others, and you're so close, you could actually make out geologic formations like mountains, and you could see clouds, and in theory, you could actually travel between the different planets. So imagine going on vacation to another planet. But to really get you thinking, a new study just released its results this month in October 2020. They looked at all 4,500 plus planets that are outside the solar system, and they ranked them according to how likely they are to sustain life. Not whether they're currently sustaining life, but looking at their conditions of how good of a planet are they to sustain life. And out of the 4,500, there were 24 at the top of the list that not only can sustain life, but actually can sustain life better than Earth can. They are considered super habitable, and they are literally better places to live than Earth is, which is definitely a foreign concept for most people because they think of Earth as like this oasis in this vast universe where everything lined up perfectly to sustain human life. And already, just out of the 4,500 planets that were reviewed, that have only been discovered in the past 30 years, right? There's lots more planets out there. We've already found 24 that are better than Earth at sustaining life.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
So what happens when we discover there are millions, if not billions of planets out there? Just probability alone says there's going to be a heck of a lot more planets out there that are better at sustaining life than Earth, which really forces you to come to terms with the reality. Almost certainly we are not alone. So that's going to do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video.
Okay. So, like, they showed the picture, and obviously it was, you know, like, they were like, oh, vacation on another planet or whatever, and just the thought of that is instantly, fuck no.
I'm not going to space.
Fuck no.
I'm going to die on this fucking turd right here.
Okay, so I was like, man, I'm going to be one of those old crotchety women that are like, I ain't going nowhere. I don't care. You know, like, it's like, no, this shit's about to fucking blow up. We have to leave. I'm never going to have enough money to do that. But, no, I'm going to stay right here, and I'm just going to fucking, whatever happens, happens, because I am not going out there. That's the whole reason that I never watched Star Wars. And it was nerdy, too.
But you liked Star Trek. I forced you to watch Star Trek,
weird.
and you liked it.
You know why, I think?
Why?
Because they're inside all the time. It only shows, like, you know, some stars and stuff, but, like, deserts, which a lot of planets look deserty. Deserts and space.
Not your thing.
I don't know. I have an aversion to it. It makes me...
I might be able to live on
hate
Deep Space Nine. They got that holodeck. They got all that shit, you know.
If I couldn't see outside and they faked it good enough, then maybe I could hack it.
I mean, we live in our apartment mostly, so...
Exactly.
I mean, Deep Space Nine was gigantic.
But when he said that there are 25 planets, or 40, don't remember, 25 I think, that are better than here already, I was like, oh.
Imagine they look like...
It's a little different.
You know, Lord of the Rings, like Middle Earth. Like, beautiful, just...
It's different than...
The Shire everywhere.
How the fuck do you breathe and shit?
I don't know.
Right?
Anyway,
there's a lot of implications.
That's just like kind of the geological aspects of planets that could be out there and are out there. But
so,
they really...
if there are millions and billions of planets that could be habitable, maybe not just to humans.
Yeah. But aliens.
Maybe there are millions and billions of different types of species.
Yeah, of course.
And
of course there are. Even here,
I don't know. When I think of aliens, I think of aliens and just one and done.
No. Even the world we live on, we don't know all of the animals and species of things that exist. Like, we don't know. The ocean is less explored than space at this point.
Yep.
So, yeah. I just don't, for me... I don't see these vehicles and things, because I'm going back to aliens.
Good.
I don't see these vehicles and things in these videos and everything and think, this is otherworldly, this is not us. Because I see the technology that we have access to as just like consumers.
Like years and years behind and stuff.
They're not telling us
I agree.
what capabilities that they have.
I do not trust.
Military budget for our country has been so outlandishly ridiculous for decades and decades that
stupendous.
Who knows what they've got,
it is
and who knows. But I'm also of the mind that it's got to be something out there with all the possibilities.
I agree.
Right? So there are probably, in my brain, the way that I comprehend things, aliens out there. Now, are they coming down to hang out with us and going around our planet?
Well, they've been here.
I mean,
they've been here.
Who knows?
They've been here.
I don't know.
Why are they here?
That may not be them.
What do you mean?
I'm saying that, like, what's to say that the Department of Defense has not created these aircraft and they've already been witnessed by military members?
You're saying it's just military?
Yeah.
And they're just saying that it's UFOs?
Black. No, they're not saying. That's why they're not saying it's UFOs. They're saying we don't know what that is. Yes, we've observed this. Yes, we have
But why would they
footage of
say
this.
there's shit inside that's not human?
The government has never said that.
Oh, okay.
This guy is coming out and saying, I work for a government organization that has charged me with the job of investigating these unknown phenomenons, and people are telling me they're keeping secrets from me that keep me from doing my job. So I am telling on them. I am telling Congress and I am telling the government, you guys have a group that is lying to me and keeping me from doing the job you're paying me to do. Mm-hmm. So either confess to that or don't. But I am filing a complaint right now that all of these people working for you are telling me in person.
Seems like a pretty stupid job to create. Because eventually they're going to find out.
It'd be like, say, I'm like, got a secret I'm trying to keep from you. Mm-hmm. But I employ you to try to discover, maybe is there a secret?
Right. Yeah. I'm going to find it out.
But they did that to appease the public, to explain away these things.
And then they didn't ever expect anybody to do the same thing.
Well, it's always been like a lot of these government agencies and a lot of people who, work for the government will do anything to protect their job, their credibility, and to make sure that they're not ruffling any feathers.
And this one guy.
Unfortunately, generations that have come after like the 80s have decided, you know what?
Fuck you.
I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
I don't care that you broke your elbow. They're just saying, I can't. Well, they have discovered shit that has made them say, I can't live with myself.
Good. Yeah.
If I don't tell everybody the truth about this.
Yeah, and it's not like, this specifically I have not researched, but it's not like I'm like, oh, aliens, no, I'm not going to think about that ever, because I don't want it to exist in rainbows and ponies or whatever. Would I? Yes, I would like for that to be the case, but I know that's not the truth.
The rainbows and ponies to me is little green men live in these discs, and we found them. The Men in Black is the rainbows and ponies. Even more terrifying.
Well, there's a lot of different species.
Even more terrifying to me is this reality. That our government, or well, what would be this reality? I don't know if this is the case, but this is the way that my brain works.
This is the scariest option
This is the scariest to me. That our government has the technology to produce energy without fossil fuels, to have vehicles that can move and do all of these things to just incredible degrees. That they have such technology, it could change life as we know it in a drastic way. But to keep companies in business that produce
That's what I was going to say.
fuels,
Why would they do that? But I understand what you're going to say.
Hold on. To give the public this technology and to admit that they can do all of these things and they have these technologies that exist that they've developed would make us no longer need all of the. It would destroy our economies. It would destroy the status quo. And though they want the military means to do these things, if they have to go to war, they want these things. They don't want us to have them because it would destroy the status quo.
Say, like, my first gut reaction was like, no, because they're literally ruining the planet to keep those things, those companies.
But if they can leave, who cares?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
But it also doesn't matter if they know they're gonna fuck everything and they can just start over.
And they can just go somewhere else. You know, like, to me,
I don't like to think about it.
Well, I think about it all the time because Dave Chappelle made a good point. Every single billionaire that exists is trying like hell to get off the planet.
True.
So they know some shit we don't know.
But also, again, what the fuck am I gonna do about it? I'm a poor person. I'm never gonna leave this planet.
I understand that, but it's just, to me, I'm just saying the rainbows and butterflies and all that stuff is more so these are aliens instead of our government has developed this world-changing, life-changing technology that could mean go walk through that portal and you're in Jamaica, like that. Or get on this aircraft and it can just disappear. It goes so fast you're in London in 10 seconds.
But okay, you think that they have developed that on their own?
Oh God, dude, I know people that were around in the 80s when in these Air Force bases and shit, when they had the spy planes that are undetectable to radar and shit, the black V-looking, you know, we all know what it is now, but it was like right at the end of when they're no longer secret, but like right before they were released to the public that we have these. They would lock down bases and make everyone go inside if that thing had to like fuel itself. And like children had to go inside that were in school on base. All the employees had to go inside. Nobody was allowed to know what was landing. Like the bombers, the stealth bombers and stealth fighters and shit were like, they might as well have been aliens because people had seen these things. And there's pictures of these things before they were released to the public that were like, what is this? You know, they could do all these crazy things that were... So, to me, it is more likely that what we witness, that these anomalies and phenomenon that we witness are technologies that are beyond what the public knows about and are a product of billions and billions of dollars being pumped into the military-industrial complex to create magnificent technologies that would be world-changing and life-altering.
I mean, the money is there.
Daryl to go fill up his pickup truck and worry about... They don't want anybody to know that there may be something that can never need to be filled up again.
Right. Well, we know that for a fact because anybody who has ever done it before is not here.
Well, they're starting to...
Anybody who has done it before... who talks about it outside of their job in the government is not here. They're
allowing people to come forth with stories that sound like this is the rainbows and butterflies. If somebody comes forward with some kind of incredible technology, they start flaming that person.
Yeah.
And to me, it just seems way more likely that the billions and billions of dollars that have been pumped into the military-industrial complex have resulted in phenomenal technology. That, to me, is probably what all this is.
So yours is literally worst-case scenario because not only is that terrifying, but also aliens still exist.
Aliens probably do still exist, but I would be surprised if an intelligent species existed out there that was able to come here and they didn't snuff us out before we had a chance to even know they existed.
Well, have you not heard
Because anybody who would study us and see what we do would be like, that is a virus on this existence. They need to be dealt with. They would just wipe us clean. It would be like the Saiyans. You know, what are you going to do? Bye. It wouldn't be like, oh, hi, I just noticed your tree. We're going to land in your backyard. Can we stick a probe up your ass? It would be like, move on, you know? But that probably exists somewhere.
Yeah.
It just ain't found us.
Yeah.
Or care to. Or it might be like someone also had I can't remember who it was, but they made the point of like, do you go and talk to an ant when you see it? You may sit there and be like, oh, interesting, and move on. But you're not interested in what the ant's really doing. You don't give a fuck. Like, that's the way they might view us.
Yeah.
You know, that's where Alien Ant Farm came from, too. The band, it was like the idea that they just planted us here and we're just a little science project for aliens.
As entertainment.
Yeah. But, like, to me, what we're witnessing and all these things that people are coming forth with, you can't underestimate what human beings are capable of. That's what made me fall out with the Ancient Aliens thing, was because there was lots of interesting shit in there that was like, oh, you know, I can kind of see where this might be a thing. But when they start being like,
they went wild.
Oh man, you can't deny what human beings have done as far as innovations over the past 100 years. It's been
and just write it all off as
insane. Like, we have done crazy
technology.
Right, because that's the easy band-aid answer.
Yeah.
You know, the hard pill to swallow is, it's us. You are this far down on the list of important people, like to the point where it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
And the people with real power and real control might as well be fucking alien superheroes to you, because they've got so much money and so much power and have been doing this shit for so long that you are a Neanderthal to them.
So this has been the worst episode of Scooby-Doo ever, and let's move on.
Yeah.
I know that my life is insignificant, but, you know, I don't want to ponder on it too much.
Well, Mr. Ballen make you do that sometimes, and I do appreciate him for his interesting insights on things and the way that he tells stories. I think he did a very good job telling this one, and he usually does. So if you enjoy Mr. Ballen, you should go check out his channel, subscribe to it. You know, we appreciate you hanging out with us. I appreciate you listening to my long, you know, diatribe about all this stuff. To me, this stuff's interesting, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, Nikki, for stepping outside of your comfort zone.
I don't like it.
We won't talk about aliens anymore today, I promise.
I appreciate that.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us, and we will see you in the next one.
See you guys.
Bye.